Hello friends, Megan here. This is my beautiful friend Hannah who will be joining us for our fascia facial massage. Thank you so much for being here.
I am so happy to be here and so looking forward to learning from you, so hands-on. I love being in your treatment room, so this just feels like an extra treat to get to learn from you.
Thank you, Hannah. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to warm up the tissues first with a warm wet towel, which Hannah's going to grab out of the towel cabbie. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, these are baby burp cloths, so they're made out of muslin, but they're really easy to warm, and you can either, if you're doing this at home, you just take, put it under
It just feels so good.
You just put it right under that hot water, and then you can put it right on the skin. And I like to start on the chest and then work my way up the neck.
This is so nice because you can just do this at home every day.
Exactly.
With any towel. The cotton muslin feels really nice though.
And then start working up the face. What we're doing is warming the tissues, wiping away any residual that might be there from the day, or if it's something that you're doing in the morning. It's just very refreshing.
I get lots of grime. I have 2 young children, so who knows what the grime on my face is from.
Okay, perfect. So now we're done wiping away the grime, as Hannah says, and we've warmed up our tissues, and now we're going to be starting with no product on the skin. So this is with no product on the skin. This is a fascia technique, and so we're going to use our left hand as our support, and then our knuckles from the right hand, and this we're going to start off gently before we go too deep, so that we don't hurt ourselves. But we're gently going to hold the platysma muscle at the bottom of the clavicle here, and then we'll take our knuckles and just gently stretch. We're going into the tissue. This is really slow. This movement is super slow.
So would you say pressure like I'm checking an avocado for ripeness?
Yeah, a little bit firmer than that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're going all the way up into the edge of the ear there and melting into that fascia, because we're going into the intercellular matrix, and you can't force fascia, you have to work with it. At some point, especially if you haven't done this work before, you're going to meet a barrier of resistance.
Yeah, I feel that right here. I can tell there's a spot that's like, oh, wait.
Yeah, no, wait for me. So you have to work with the fascia, you can't force it. So it's a gentle pressure up, letting the hand or the knuckles just really melt into that fascia.
And with this hand, how much pressure am I applying as well? Good, firm? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so opening already. Feels lovely.
Exactly. So do this maybe 5 times. And we're going right over that platysma, right over that sternocleidomastoid, which is this thing right here. Okay. This muscle right here is what I meant to say.
This muscle. I'm surprised with your knowledge of anatomy. Not surprised, I'm not surprised. I'm amazed.
I'm surprised too. Okay, great.
Wow.
And now we're going to switch sides. So the right hand will be holding this platysma muscle as a support, and then we'll take our left knuckle and just gently press into that fascia. This is really slow and gentle, working with the fascia.
It's amazing the difference between the 2 sides.
Exactly.
My left, I feel like, is a lot more tight.
My right is way more tight. Like I have a lot more fibrosis on that side.
Are you right-handed?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also my TMJ. So the TMJ contributes to issues on the whatever side you're having issues with.
That checks out. Okay. I struggled with TMJ more as a child, but I haven't had too much of it recently. But it is, this left side's tighter. I think that's also the side I carry my kids on.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. The body is so amazing. It really compensates. So you'll have one side that's compensating for the other. There's hardly ever a balance, I would say, unless you're working on yourself.
Isn't that what we're all working for? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm constantly trying to be balanced. It's an endless process. It's a practice, not a rival.
Exactly.
It feels like just a treat.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Just being slow with it too. I'm always, people want to just be so quick and almost
Yeah.
aggressive with some of these.
Exactly.
But you have to make the space and time for it to be slow.
Absolutely.
Which I'm learning.
Absolutely. Especially in this culture where everything is like, you've got to have it right now. You have to have the magic bullet, or, they want answers, or they want results right away.
I want these brows lifted immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so we've stretched both sides of the neck here. I do think that we should do some work on the décolleté here. So we're just gonna take fingers and gently crisscross them, putting firm pressure. Exactly, doing a deep breath and letting your fingers melt into the fascia. And we're gonna bring it all the way across the chest. You might feel some adhesions there, some fibrosis, little crunchies is what I call them,
Little crunchies, yeah.
Yeah.
Little Rice Krispies.
And then you just do this a couple of times.
This feels very heart opening too.
Absolutely. I love that.
This would be just good practice for integrating all the mind body.
Love that, Hannah. Totally. That's my jam, girl. Okay, now I think we'll use knuckles going this way.
Oh, my personal favorite. This is one of my favorite. Especially after nursing children, like this just feels like...
Love it.
Yeah.
Did the nurses teach you how to do this?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
We did have really amazing lactation consultants with Owen. I didn't need as much support with Harlow because I'd kind of already figured, but they, not a lot of massage was taught unless you had a block or like a clogged duct. So this should be, like if you're a nursing mother or you're holding children, do this.
Yeah, we're just really opening all of this up. It feels really good. And you don't have to do this one slow. You can do it a little bit quicker if you want to.
Yeah.
Say, 10 seconds on each side or 20 seconds on each side. So we will be working on the trapezius next. And this is a kind of a blade movement, but we're gonna hold here and just work up the trapezius really slowly. And you might feel some resistance there.
Where do I end?
Yep, just under that skull bone there. Okay. Yep, you can always bring it up to the occipital as well, which is this ridge right here.
Okay.
Just breathing through it.
The no product is interesting because the resistance of my skin to skin is creating like additional pull that I can feel is like needed.
It really is magical. You're not going to get the depth with oil.
No.
Oil's amazing, but when you're doing it with your own sebum, your own oil, then it gives it more traction, more tensile force. That's exactly, So this is what we're doing. We're creating tensile force. So we're pulling from one direction and pulling in the opposite. Okay, we'll switch sides if you're ready. Good?
Finish this one out here.
Okay. Good technique, girl. I love it. Okay, so pulling here and going upwards on the trapezius to the back of the skull. Do you find this side to be
less resistance again on this side? Maybe I also though have gotten comfortable like with the movement from the other side, so this just maybe feels less awkward the second time. How many times each side do you think is appropriate?
you can be intuitive with it. If you feel like 5 times is good,
Yeah.
that's fine. Usually the repetitions are anywhere from 6 to 10.
Okay.
Yep. For each section.
My brain, I am safe, I am here. Okay, here we are. Swear that's how you have to do sometimes.
I love it. Oh my gosh. You're funny, girl. Let's do some stretches with the platysma. Yeah, this is really great for that under chin area here.
Jumping, working on.
I love it. And we're pressing down towards the chest and just gently raising.
Whoa,
and
okay.
Stretching.
Ooh.
You feeling that stretch?
Uh-huh, very quickly too. So this is one I need to be incorporating much more regularly.
Now, if this is new for you, just stay exactly where you're at. If you've been doing this stretch for a long time, you can purse your lips towards the ceiling. Yeah, you can feel it. It's more intense, right?
And it changes, like the location of where I feel that pull is different. Wow.
If at any time you're doing this work and you're feeling like nervy pinches, just kind of relax and reset.
Yeah, slow into it.
Yeah,
I did notice with the lip pursing, it felt like that was my level 2. I'm not ready for the lip
Yeah.
pursing yet. I was like, well, that's a lot of pull.
Okay.
That's good.
Now we're going to do the same thing, but from each angle. So we'll start on the left first, going that way. Okay, so we're going to hold the platysma, gently pulling over and stretching.
Oh, this is amazing. I feel like it's pulling where like my jowl wants to start on my face.
You know, that's my problem area, but I've actually discovered that through fascia work, it's not so localized. It's actually, you know, it starts in the back of the neck, in the back of the head, and in the scalp even.
You mean it's all connected?
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a good one.
And you can do the same thing here. You know, try to purse the lips. And once you feel that's good, just gently come out of that stretch. And then do it on the other side. And you can just do it with one hand. I don't know. It feels more nurturing to do it with two, I guess.
Yeah, it feels intentional.
Another thing you can do is take your tongue to the roof of your mouth, swallow, creating that seal, the mewing. Have you heard of that? Yeah, so tongue to the roof of the mouth and swallow.
Yeah, mewing took me some practice.
Me too. Feeling good? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so our posture, especially nowadays when we're all like this, you know, looking down or on the computer, we're getting the forward head position and also the curvature of the shoulders going forward. And so it's important just to practice, you know, that better posture every day. And if we can, you know, put the electronics a little bit higher. That way we're not, when we're older, you know, the muscles get so weak. So we have to exercise them to stay strong.
Electronics.
All right, so we're gonna start working underneath the chin now. We're gonna take our little pincher fingers here, and we've got our thumbs, and not too firm, but we're gonna go really slowly. Just connect with that bone. And
This is one of my personal favorites.
Is it?
Yeah. I feel like I've noticed the most transformation with my jawline from this.
Love that.
Do you feel the crunchies?
If you want, so right now we're doing macro work, but if you want to do micro work, you can really kind of go like this along the jawline and break up the crunchies there.
That's really neat. Wow. What kind of pressure? Because if this is lesser, it feels like lesser pressure than what we were doing here with our hands.
You don't want to bruise yourself because that can happen. But since you kind of just go with what feels good, you don't want it to hurt and you don't want any nervy pain. has to be firm enough to actually do something. And again, we're working with the fascia, and the muscles are there too, so there's going to have to be like a barrier of resistance. So ideally you're waiting and holding until you touch that bone, and then you're gently moving along.
And all the way up to the end of the jawbone.
Yes. We call this edge of mandible. And then this is where our large masseter muscle is, you know?
That's where I, like right in there is where I tend to have more of the ick stuff I need to like move out. Things will get stuck in there for me if I didn't do all my proper openings prior to going in at the jaw.
Exactly. Another thing too that you can do, this is more advanced, but once you hit this edge of the mandible, you can gently try to massage that sternocleidomastoid. There's for me on my right side, I have a lot of fibrosis that I have to work through. This is a really gentle movement, especially at first. We have a lot of lymph nodes in this area, so if you know, it's also a detoxing pathway. If it's clogged, then we're not going to get the flow that we need, and then the face gets puffy. Yeah, so this is a really important part of our facial massage, and it's just really a gentle kneading. If you feel a tension point, you can just take your fingers and just gently make some circles. It doesn't matter which direction the circles are coming or going. It doesn't matter, just as long as that feels good to you.
Feels amazing.
Now try it on the other side. Is that side tighter? Or does it feel
Yeah,
about
it
the same?
is tighter. Whoa.
I could not even grab my right
I
side.
can barely grab my left. Whoa.
Yeah. It feels like thick.
It feels, yeah, it feels like
fibrosis.
dense and like, yeah, it feels thicker.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
So this will be something that you can do daily that will help to release that hold, that congestion, that stagnation, that fibrosis.
Wow. Yeah, I'm excited to see what progress I can make with that stagnation there.
And then you can take your fingers and do the small circles right at the base of the neck there, a little bit closer to the ear. That's a release or like tension.
Yeah, I can feel it now. Like I can tell what's muscle, but I can really tell there's stagnation.
Let's do the back of the neck now, because this is something that is often neglected, especially in facial massage, but it plays a huge role in how the overall face looks, as far as, you know, symmetry and flow of lymphatic flow. Okay, so we can either take our knuckles and just massage that cervical spine, or you can take your fingers and go up. I'm gonna turn around here so I can see. So we can take the knuckles and just gently massage on either side of the cervical spine.
I just need an hour of this alone. This feels amazing. This is a neglected area, you know, as I've navigated into more facial massage. Not been paying enough attention to the back of my neck.
Exactly.
It is quite intuitive though when you start to get into it, and like you were saying, you know, you know how much pressure to use. Like once you get more practiced at it, it is becoming more intuitive.
But it's a good question to ask, because some people will just go so firm and so fast that they actually hurt themselves. So it's good to ask and be aware of that.
And then practice. Like gua sha too, people using too much pressure and bruising themselves.
Yeah, but these are skills that we learn and that we need, and then consistency is what really gives us the results. So, okay, so we've done our neck here, and then we're gonna continue up the face. So you can either use your knuckles. We'll be starting here on the mentalis and the depressors. This is firm pressure going with the fascia. And
whoa.
And you're gonna feel some tense spots in the masseter, I'm sure.
Yep.
And this is where you can take your knuckles, and then we're gonna go up with the pressure and light coming down. Up with pressure and light coming down.
I feel like my sinuses are opening up.
Yeah, yeah,
It really does, yeah. The blood flow is happening right in the central part of my face right now. It feels so good.
And I love how you did that too. You can play with it, you know, take it from the corners of the mouth. So we went underneath here, we went here, you know, going up.
Right here's my stagnation, right there.
Try pursing your lips and see how orbicularis oris, you know, this is our lip muscle, the orbicularis oris. Try saying
That's a mouthful.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
I can't even say it 1 time slow.
Try pursing your lips and then doing it. You're gonna feel a little bit more of a stretch.
Is this why your lips have been more plump?
Yeah, girl.
I've noticed. You posted those pictures yesterday, and I was like, her lips are plump. They look so lovely.
Yes. Bringing that all the way to the edge of the ear. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take our lips.
Oh, love it.
So there's something called a modiolus here, and this is the joining point for all of our facial muscles. So they kind of go in
You
to
can feel that,
point. Yeah, it's a thick area.
So it probably carries a lot more tension than I ever realized.
You can stand there and hold it. Walk over the lips.
You sure do look cute and goofy.
Exactly. Okay.
It feels great.
Beautiful. For the upper lip, we're just going to take 2 fingers here and gently stretch over that muscle. This is really slow, gentle movement. And you can feel your teeth, the gums and everything. We're bringing blood circulation to the surface, and this is helping to bring nutrients. This is the area that's often untouched.
I've not ever incorporated this, and I was just thinking about how great this will be for my gums and my gum health even. Bring that blood flow.
A lot of people ask me, what can I do about these lines above my lips? This is exactly what you can do. This is no product, just stretching. You go deep into the muscle, feel your bones and your teeth, and then stretch outwards.
I love that this is no product. It's just you and your hands. Anyone can do this.
Yeah.
Costs you nothing but time, which is a currency, but
yes. It's a good currency.
It's a good currency.
Investment in yourself.
Yes.
Right, okay, so we've done that. We're gonna go underneath our zygomatic arch here. Okay. So the cheeks, underneath the cheekbone. It's called the zygomatic. Go out. This is, ooh, there's a lot of tension here for me, so this is not a fast movement.
That's more intense than I was expecting.
Yeah, and if it is, you could just lighten up your pressure.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drop your head down. Usually when you drop the head down on the hands, that creates more pressure.
It does, you're right. It's like the lifting of your chest bone or breastbone. It lets your body work for you. And we're just bringing this all the way to the edge of the ear. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
We're going to work on our masseter. This is a very neglected and unloved muscle, so we need to gently massage it first to help prep the tissues. You might feel some tension points in there. Pressure up in circular motions. There is the parotid gland here, so if it feels a little bit spongy, you just want to avoid working on that gland, unless you need some saliva. But it's just from the edge of our mandible here, all the way up to underneath that zygomatic arch.
Okay, that's a pretty big range. Wow.
So you're going to see It's just amazing, the masseter muscle, how much tension it holds.
Well, it works hard.
And the tendons in there, we've got the temporalis tendon that's connected in with the masseter tendon. And then we've got our medial pterygoid and our lateral pterygoids.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things happening in there. And if you want to use your knuckles, if you're ready for that, you just take it from the edge of the mandible and work your way up to that zygomatic arch. This is really slow and deliberate, working into that fascia, muscle, fat. Beautiful technique.
Oh, and I feel just like the little warmness from the blood flow. It feels so good.
I know, it's just amazing. We've created more spaciousness.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel more open. Let the blood flow, baby.
Exactly. All right, so from here, we're gonna work over the cheeks. So we'll do our knuckles here. So this is corner of the nose here, and just working over the cheeks.
Wow, that feels really nice.
You don't have to do too much pressure, but enough to pick up the tissue and be able to feel your bone as well.
And then all the way up again.
Yeah, and this helps to tone and lift. You can kind of just
Should I go into my hairline at all?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, definitely.
That's a yes. Even from first pass to second, I can feel the tissue move differently.
Right? It's more supple, you have more hyperplasticity to it, right? It's not as dense.
So the more you do that, it remembers, right?
Fascia's just amazing. It really is incredible. So fascia, if you guys don't know, is this thick web of, it looks like glue. It's a substance that holds everything together, all of our muscles, and it kind of wraps around things, and it's very complex, and it can hold emotions and trauma. It can hold adhesions, and it can get dry. And so what we're doing is we're trying to manipulate the fascia in a loving way so that we can bring the fluidity to it.
Absolutely. And you see, as you start to learn more about fascia, you can see how trauma affects people's like body shapes and their posture and all of those things. And as they work through those types of the physical releasing of trauma, but also the mind-body connection of the trauma, it's wild what your body will do to heal itself in those times as well.
Now we're going to be moving around the orbital ridge. We never want to work inside of our soft tissue. It's always on the orbital ridge where the bone is. So you can just gently.
So you're not going into the socket area.
Exactly.
Wow.
Never into the soft tissue. You're just going to gently press with your 2 fingers. If this is a tender spot for you, just kind of hold it, and you can do some gentle circles. And then move over. What we're doing is we're feeling the bone, that orbital ridge. We're not working into the soft tissue, and we're just doing really, really tiny circles.
This would wake me up in the morning.
If you've had a long day on the computer, this feels really nice to release that tension.
If you've been driving all day or anything, using those eyes to strain. There's
little notches along our bones, and it's pretty amazing because these are acupressure points. I know we've got one here on the top orbital ridge.
Oh yes, that's one of my favorites.
That one's great to release
I do this on my children too when they're sick. They love it. Owen will like start doing this to himself now. But it is one of my favorite spots. If you have sinus pressure, allergies.
Yeah, that's a huge point of tension for me.
I've also, like, if you're feeling annoyed for some reason, that point for me, I'm like, okay, let's let go of some of this annoyance.
That's a really good suggestion. I love that.
You know, it's like how people do this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like how, it's like, I feel like that's my instinct to like, okay.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, we're moving along the ridge on the upper eye here, which for me, this feels like a huge release of tension. I don't know why so much tension here.
I just have very hooded eyes, so when I push, like it looks, I have lots of skin here.
Oh no, your eyes are perfect.
When I was younger and doing makeup, I'd always be so sad my makeup didn't look like the girls in the magazine. I was like, because they don't have hooded eyes. So then you start researching like makeup application for hooded eyes. It's a game changer. You just work with what you got.
Right. Yeah, there's some people that are very extreme and they go get the hoods removed, and I'm like, but that's what makes you so beautiful, is that subtle.
I feel like there's a balance too, because I have seen people whose skin begins to like restrict their vision even because they have not manipulated it. But that's what I'm loving, is I get to learn this now and hopefully
lift them up.
Lift them up.
Now we're going to be working over the eyebrow, and a lot of people think, oh, if I just work my eyebrow, this is going to help lift it. But actually, it starts in the temporalis muscle. Yeah. Okay. So we can do our eyebrow stuff, and then we're gonna start working into the hairline and start lifting everything that way.
Lovely.
Okay. We're gonna hold like this. So hold with your left hand, and then we'll take our knuckle and just gently go over that eyebrow. And you can move along with your other hand if it feels like, oh, that's too much stretch. This is very slow. We're still working with the fascia. We've got our corrugators in here that hold a lot of tension.
Been doing a lot of eyebrow raising this week, so you know. It feels lovely.
Good. Okay, then we'll start on the other side.
It's actually interesting to me, before I move to the other side, I can feel the difference, and my body, like, there's a pulse here. It's like, we gotta let go of this side now too. It craves the release on the other side after one side has experienced it.
Love it.
So cool.
Really slow and deliberate. Pressing and letting that fluidity come in. I like to work all the way across the brow bone. Pressure is semi-firm.
Yeah, I'm even pretty firm actually. Feels good. It's really good.
Okay, we're gonna start working up the nose all the way through the forehead now. So we'll start on the corners of the nose.
Okay.
Firm pressure.
Just do little circles.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which direction you're going in, whatever feels good. For me, I prefer to go out.
Yeah. That's kind of the direction I tend to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll move up to the middle of the nose. Believe it or not, we do have a very important muscle here over the nose, and this area is never massaged, so it's really good to get in there and do those circles.
So lovely.
And then we're going to work into the bridge of the nose here. Not quite in the eyebrow.
There's kind of like a more distinct bone point there.
Yeah. Cool. Beautiful. Work up this way. You can use your knuckles. You can go this way. Upwards this way. You can just pull it over the muscles here. That feels absolutely amazing.
I know, when you draw it into your hairline like that, it just feels so good. This is, I have a little more droop on this right side of my face.
Okay.
So I've been working on that, like up into my hairline technique. It just feels so good.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. How do you know that?
Because I asked you. You ask the questions of the people with the knowledge, and they're usually pretty willing to share.
If you do have lines here, you know, this kind of knuckle motion is really great, you know, going side to side.
Is there a preference? So, say, because I have my like 11 lines and then the like regular forehead lines, does it matter what direction with them you go, or is just the movement?
With gua sha, it matters the direction, but with your knuckles, fascia is multi-faceted.
Yeah, okay, so it's not directional, okay.
the reason why we have this line here is because of the repetition of the movement, and then the fascia holds it like that.
Yeah.
But you can even do something that's super relaxing. Just grab that skin.
Yes, this has been one, we did a video on this a while back, and this has been my like little favorite. I do this one daily.
You pinch and stretch. And then you can do this all the way across the eyebrow too, which feels absolutely incredible. For anyone that has Botox, definitely don't want to do this because it can push it out and around, and I don't know how that works.
We don't want to send those toxins anywhere else in your body.
Let's just continue with that movement into the hairline. I really love that. This is slow, intentional, and deliberate. We're also bringing that blood circulation into the hairline. This is really firm pressure, using the fingers and pressing.
Yeah, my head needs it. It's so like tender in a good way. Like it hurts so good, but it doesn't hurt. I don't know.
So let's take our clips out, and then we'll just work along that temporalis muscle. We're lifting up from the ear.
Oh wow.
And joining the hands together at the crown of the head. And you can go as slow as you want, and then just hold it.
My right side was a lot more tender on that one too. But my left side has been tighter, which is weird. All these imbalances.
We're just restoring the balance. So right above the ears, we're gonna start on that temporalis muscle and pushing up.
I like your little head bob too.
The slow and deliberate feels great, but you can play with it too. You can vibrate, moving it upwards.
Have you been using your comb?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you enjoying that?
I love it. So good. It's really hard. The
yeah.
copper is
firm.
It's just not the kind of thing that you would think would be relaxing, but that scraping on the scalp is so needed.
Wow, I'm gonna have to explore that next.
And you can massage all along that hairline too. Really just getting in there. Oh, my temples are so tight. This is all connected to that jaw tension as well.
Just as your uterus is as well. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, of course it's all connected, but like a relaxed jaw is a relaxed cervix. So when you're laboring, they really want you to just really lean into letting your jaw relax because it naturally opens you. Isn't that so beautiful? Everything's so connected.
Absolutely amazing.
So relaxed jaw is one that I have to remind myself of frequently throughout my days. Not that I'm birthing babies every day, but you know, it's all connected. I think my birthing years are over.
You're such a goddess. I can't believe it. And you had both kids natural.
Yeah. Owen was premature, so that was a little rough, but we were in the hospital, but I still had people supporting me around me that leaned into like, okay, everything's looking safe, let's go. And then obviously with Harlow, she was full term, so I just got to let my body do its thing.
That's incredible. We can also do hair pulls that helps to bring in that blood circulation, release tension. It also helps with this aponeurotic tissue up here. Yeah, and you can kind of hold and move.
That feels so good.
And the hairs that fall out, they're just like ready to come out.
Yeah.
So you never want to pull so hard that you're ripping your hair out, but this definitely needs some love.
They're natural shed. It helps with the...
Exactly.
It also, though, will help with hair growth as your scalp gets stronger and helps develop those healthy oils. And
I think so.
Yeah.
Totally. Just starts on its own. So to finish our beautiful fascia massage, we are going to massage over that trapezius, releasing any leftover muscle tension.
And if this was going to be the end of your massage, this is where I would be thanking myself for taking the time, and thank you for treating yourself with love.
Love it. Exactly. And you can just place your hand over your heart whenever you're ready. Take a deep breath in. Our bodies are so incredible. And that's it. Thank you so much.
I feel such an openness.
Me too.
Yeah.
Definitely. A release and a flow, like the blood flow is definitely coming in.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It is, in like a good way. And I'm aware now of where there are, like I can feel where the stagnations are that feel like they want more attention, which is cool. Because before I kind of just felt like, couldn't feel what was going, on all of it. But now that I've kind of got blood moving, I can really see, okay, no, the tension is here and like there. So it's cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you, Hannah. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Of course. Bye-bye.